Rome was not built in one day. And some of the countries that we try to benchmark our country with are over 200 years old.
Or over 50 years
over
old.
50 years old, over 60. You cannot just compare them like that. Everything take time.
Yeah.
In this video, we are not saying that the government is doing good. The government is failing. We all accept that. But government failure should not stop us or all of us from doing what we are supposed to do as individuals or being happy about that aspect of being independent country and being a free person. Because of the independence, I can see a South Sudanese citizen or child can start the education from nursery school all the way to university within Juba or within other part of South Sudan. They started. Welcome to Jimosi podcast. So on Wednesday was July 9th. And July 9 was South Sudan Independence Day.
14th Independence Day anniversary.
Yes. And so there was happiness all over. But some of South Sudanese citizens were not happy with the celebration on that day.
I wanted to ask you, are you sure there was happiness all over?
Yes, there were a lot of happiness.
Okay.
So, but there were some of citizens that were not happy with the celebration itself and the independence, the celebration of the Independence Day. And most of these individuals, they were citing the government failures as reason not to celebrate it.
I feel like taking away that part of Happy Independence Day, you cannot celebrate something when you're not happy about it, right? Yeah. And also we all know, and we've all lost people through the independence struggle that lasted over 21 years. So at least the fact that we have a country that we call our own is enough to celebrate. Yeah. And you cannot say people can celebrate and then you don't need to say Happy Independence Day.
Then what is it if it is not a Happy Independence Day?
It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, so to me, I will say happiness is relative to individual. So if some people were sad on that day or they had nothing to celebrate, we should not stop others from celebrating it. If other citizens were happy, it is up to them, because to those that were happy, they actually feel it. And for some of you that were not happy, it's still okay. Everybody have their opinion and about how they feel, right? But when we look at the achieving of the independence itself, we look at what it actually cost us before we got it.
Yeah.
And we saw that, like, the war itself that ended in 2005 when the CPA was signed, peace agreement, it had already killed over 2 million.
Both soldiers and civilians, including children.
We can look in different fields of how people are faring on in South Sudan and say, with this independence, some of us are doing okay. As much as the government is not doing what's supposed to do, then it's okay. And then look at it again.
Yeah.
In a year, we have 365 days. If you were to be sad, you had your 364 days to be sad about the government failure and not to be happy that we actually got independent in the first place. And then that only one day, you can't come and say, now that you guys are happy on this day, you had your own day.
What are you celebrating?
Yes. And yeah, so if you have anything to say, then you can go ahead.
Okay, so I saw like two people specifically, two very learned, very learned individuals discussing like how the government failed. Let's say one person, Deng Bolaroy, he said that right now it's like people are being sold false hope because since independence, there have been like broken promises, fake agreements, and leaders who refuse to leave power. and that most of our people end up in the refugee camps. Yes, it's true. All these conflicts, all the suffering in the country has led to a lot of refugee crises within the country. But still, it doesn't mean that we should not celebrate or at least acknowledge being an independent state. Because I was not there during the struggle for independence, right? I was born like during the war, but I have not lived in the country. And then if you look at all the, let's say, not even millennials, Gen X and baby boomers, those people really struggled a lot. And some of them ended up interacting at personal level with the Arabs and the Khartoumers up north. It was not a good thing. Like they really suffered. Ile people would even be told to like clean the latrines without gloves. You use your hands to scoop, and then that thing would burn your skin, right? So some of those things right now, as an independent state, no one is forcing another person to go and do that. People are doing it like more professionally at the moment
and willingly.
Yes. It's like if you're doing it as a business, then but you have the protective equipment to use. But during the Arabs' time, it was forcefully, and you are not even being paid. And then they'll use you as kadam or like a maid to do all the shoddy work. And then they'll just like, they would even spit on your face. So that's something to celebrate. At least get to acknowledge that those who fought for this country did a good thing by fighting towards us breaking away from the north. And then government failure will be another discussion separately. But you cannot just tie everything together during the independence and say there's nothing to celebrate because A, B, C, D have not been met. Yeah.
So personally, I'm going to say I was happy on that day because when I look back on some of the things that have changed since we got the independence, there are so many. And I'm going to start with education.
Yeah.
When I was in Eastern Equatoria, there's a place called Mugali.
Okay.
Or our people pronounce it as Magali.
Magatoria, is it the same or different?
They are different.
Oh, okay.
So Mugali is in Eastern Equatoria, but both of them are in Eastern Equatoria. But Mugali is where I went to school, where I started my school, right? So in Mugali, we were following the Ugandan education system. And classes, like the highest level of education used to end at standard 7. That is when people go do PLE.
Like primary living something education. Okay.
Yeah, it's the certificate that is given when you finish class 7 in Uganda system.
Like you are graduating elementary level and then you're now supposed to go to secondary.
Yes. So the highest class was standard 7, P7. They used to call it P7.
And then what after that?
And after that, I don't think even people used to reach P7 because when you're around P7, right? Because we used to go to school when people were old, they will be recruited into the army. There was an army training barrack that were around there, around Magali. So they will come do catcher, they call it catcher, and then they will grab some men that are old enough. Then
some boys, adolescents.
So now with the education itself, I've seen a lot of changes. And the same thing, so even when you are doing your class 7 exam, you will not do it in Mugali. You'll have to be taken to the Ugandan side, either BBR, or if you go so far, let's say Gulu, you go do your exams. And from there, education ends. Because if you do not have parents that will have money, you will not be able to go to senior 1 until senior 4. That's one thing. When I went to Jonglei State, Bor, the highest class was standard 6. P6 was the highest. After there, you just go to cattle camp. And what most people used to do is to come to Kenya to come and further their studies. But right now, I've seen a lot of changes in education where, because of the independence, I can see a South Sudanese citizen or child can start the education from nursery school all the way to university within Juba or within other part of South Sudan. They start nursery, they go to primary, and at primary 8, there are a lot of secondary school within South Sudan right now. And then after secondary school, they'll go to a lot of universities that are there within South Sudan. So you see, there are a lot of changes there.
Yeah.
And for example, other example in education system is my brother. My brother completed his high school in Kenya, but he did not have money to go to university in Kenya.
Yeah, those schools are very expensive.
Yes.
One of my brothers used to pay, I think, around 88,000 per semester. Yeah, but there are some courses that could take you more than that.
Yeah. So coming from a family where like my mother had no income and still have no income, she would have not raised that money that you just mentioned right there.
Yeah.
So you see, so he had to come to South Sudan, and because of the independence that our country got, he was able to enroll in university. So he went to WOW University in Western Barkazal, and he was able to finish his university studies. He graduated. If there was not that independence that our country would have achieved by then yeah, maybe would be another teacher in Kakuma right now. So there are a lot of things to celebrate. That's just education that I've mentioned.
Yeah.
And if we talk of the health system, I remember in Mugali, the health system or the health care that was there was a UN-funded health facility, right? And what do they give there? Small thing. And I remember I only went there once.
Like paracetamol, painkillers, or antibiotics.
Yeah, I just went there once when I was really young. In Bor, there was no hospital. Totally no hospital. And thank God I never became sick. Otherwise, yes, we just eat thaw and they act as antibiotic in the body.
Okay.
But right now, there are so many clinics. There are so many
private clinics.
Yes, within as much as the government has not built so much, there are those private one where you can hustle around and you're able to get the treatment and the medication. So to me, these are just some of the reasons why I was celebrated.
Small achievements.
Yes.
Yeah, and also like you mentioned education. If you look at places like Shirkat, I don't think there's any public school in Shirkat. But how many schools do we have in Shirkat? You'll find there are more than 10 schools. There are so many high schools. Some schools are like within walking distance. And all those schools are owned by South Sudanese. Dinkas, to be precise. Like those who are very dominant in that area, right? During the war, no one could even think of investing because the next thing that would happen would be demolition, right? Or they would be bombed. Yeah. So the fact that people can now invest in some things like healthcare system. For example, there's that hospital, Gaga Hospital.
Yeah.
It's a South Sudanese owned hospital. I think it's owned by someone with some partners, Hapa na Pale. But that's purely a South Sudanese hospital. There's another hospital called Gudele General Hospital.
Yeah.
Very nice one. It's also owned by South Sudanese. And they have doctors from all over. So those are some of the small achievements that people are talking of and that are worth celebrating and being happy for. Because even if the government has failed on their part, the work of the government is not to provide all these things. They can provide basic needs like security, peace, and stability. And then once we have all those in place, then it's up to individuals to invest in some of these social services. Yeah, like healthcare facilities, education. Even in Kenya right now, not all schools are owned by the government, right? Most of them are private schools. Private individuals can develop a country if at all people want to bring change into the country. All you need is some stability and security. of which right now South Sudan has some of that. As much as not everywhere is calm and stable, there are some places which are livable. Yeah. And those small things, we need to appreciate them. Not appreciating the government, but acknowledging that it's because of this peace, that independence, that's why we have ABCD or 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Yeah. And talking of the wealth building, this idea of now we have the independence, so we're celebrating our Independence Day, and we expect that the government should have done all these things that we think of. Nothing happened just in a day. Rome was not built in one day. And some of the countries that we try to benchmark our country with are over 200 years old.
Or over 50 years
over
old.
50 years old, over 60. You cannot just compare them like that. Everything takes time.
Yeah.
In this video, we are not saying that the government is doing good. The government is failing. We all accept that. But government failure should not stop us or all of us from doing what we are supposed to do as individuals or being happy about that aspect of being independent country and being a free person. So take, for example, there are some individuals within Shirkat that have built their wealth, that have helped their communities. Like when you talk of schools, I know a few individuals, let me just mention them, otherwise people know them already, like Elijah Manyok.
Yeah, I wanted to
He
mention
has a hotel called Vision Hotel.
Vision Gate Hotel.
Vision Gate Hotel.
In Shirkat.
In Shirkat. And other people. Take, for example, if there was no this independence, it would have...
It wouldn't have built that hotel. Yeah.
But because of the independence, he has been able, like, because of stability, you are able to do services here and there, right?
Yeah.
And has been able to start from somewhere to where he is right now.
Yeah.
So your failure as individual has nothing to do with the government. We are independent. We are an independent country, and you are an independent citizen. Your well-being is in your hand.
Yeah.
The security of the country, yes, we can complain about it. They can do better than what they're doing right now. And it will take time. And sometimes we try to blame these people that they should do things a certain way. Things do not happen like that. You expect Army General that was operating within South Sudan all this time, and there were no written rules on how they are supposed to do their thing. It was just
job description.
Yes, it was just talimat. There were no policies built. And during their time, it was only one goal.
Yeah.
Food supply, arms supplies, and fighting.
Yeah.
There was no...
Liberation, literally. That's the main goal.
So long as like the army are able to eat, they are able to get firearms, and they are able to attack. Those were the only thing that this government that is ruling right now, that's what they were doing. They did not have anything to do with the inflation rate, managing a currency. They did not have anything to do with the airport. They did not have to build any roads. They did not have to do any pipe water.
And they were not exposed to modernization.
Yes. And we expect them out of blue, they are going to do all these things? No. It doesn't work like that. Yes, they do come to other countries, but just passing at a certain country does not put the knowledge into your head.
Yeah.
You have to learn there, see how things are done, and then you go implement.
Yeah.
So because I saw the most of the people that were complaining are in the diaspora. If you want to change things, take a flight, go start somewhere. And even some of us that complain in the West, not even a single tree we have not even planted. So why? Why do we complain? And take, for example, this idea of diaspora community going back. Take, for example, Luoldeng. When Luoldeng had not gone back to South Sudan, South Sudan basketball team was struggling. Even Kenyans used to beat them. But when Luoldeng, somebody from the NBA, the US, he had the right skill. He had even played himself. He has even won the championship for the NBA.
Yeah.
When he went there himself, recruit the right people. Maybe he got
And
some
help
people
with
that
the
were
training.
He got some people that were maybe they were a little bit struggling on ground. He was able to use his connections and bring some of South Sudanese that were outside to come and build a better
Mainly in
team.
Australia, US.
And these are South Sudanese. And South Sudan was able to go to Olympic for the first time. Is it not something to
And
be
they even
proud
won
of?
some games.
Yeah. So in ranking in terms of Africa, I think
They
they're
were
number one.
Yeah.
So you see.
And they were top 10, I think, worldwide when the ranking was done during the games.
Yes. So this is somebody from diaspora who actually took the knowledge there. You with your keyboard writing things will not change anything.
Acha nikukatizie hapo.
Yes.
So there's one thing that I got from Quirgarang, one of his posts, I'll read in part. So he said, we can commemorate the Independence Day. We can reflect on the day that has caused the death of millions of lives and continue to cost us more. We can be proud of the country and her resilient people. You can be proud, but livid. But what would what would be foolish to say on this day is the word happy. Happy? Happy for what? Poverty, dictatorship, incompetence, South Sudan being a dumping ground for America's criminals? Happy for salaries not paid? Happy for mindless, enigmatic decrees? Happy for the government that bombs its own citizens? Happy for arbitrary arrest? Be proud of South Sudan. But on this Independence Day, be ashamed of Kir, SPLM, and his supportive minions. Be contemplative, be mad, don't be happy. So, like we said at the beginning, that people can be happy. Like, I agree with some of the things that he said in the post. Let's say, for example, failure to pay salaries, having one leader from 205 up to now, no elections, and then there's blame game every now and then. Oh, there's no this, we have not implemented all the policies and stuff. But then saying that there's nothing to be happy about, that's why I disagree with him. Because at least you get to celebrate those small things. Yes, he said we should celebrate but not be happy. How do you celebrate without being happy? And also the things that are cited here, these are things to do with government. It's not like it has nothing to do with independence. So government failure, like we said earlier, is something on its own, something that we can discuss separately without tying it back to the independence. At least some of these people who are now the dictators or the incompetent leaders, they are the ones who fought to make South Sudan independent. So we can give that to them. If they did not take those guns, AK-47s, and went to war with the Arabs, by now we would still not have the country, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like we said earlier, that most of them are just citing the government failures.
Yeah.
Yes, government is failing, but as a person, are you not happy that you are in an independent country? Let's start from there.
Yeah.
On July 10th, 11th, and going forward, we can go ahead with the government failure, things not happening, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a day to take people back and say, yes, a lot of things are not happening, but I said earlier that these people are coming from where they had not managed anything.
Yeah.
You people want them to know things out of nowhere. They have never managed any payroll.
Yeah.
They used not to pay their soldiers. They used not to have a public service
Commission.
payroll to deal with. They are having all these new things at a go.
Yeah, and most of them are not educated. And the fact that they are the ones who fought the country, most of them feel like they should be the ones leading and reaping the benefits. So they are not willing to let go of the power, which is a failure on the government side. But then again, we cannot take it out on the Independence Day. And like there's something that Major tweeted, and I really agree with it. Someone said, today in history, it's called Charles Onyango. I think this is a Kenyan. On July 9th, 2011, South Sudan officially became an independent nation. Turns out that was the easy part. So, like, the independence was easier than what would come later.
Yes.
Which is totally true. Because right now we still haven't figured out how to run this new country. But then what Major said is outsiders struggle to reconcile our Independence Day euphoria with the mess in South Sudan. We celebrate independence, not the government or economic progress. Regimes come and go, and South Sudan is here to stay. We've come a long way. Not having to be called Abid in your own land is a big deal. I don't know what Abid means, but I think it has something to do with it's an Arab thing.
I thought it was a Dinka word. But the thing is, government exists in perfection. So even Kir will die, Riek Machar will die, and new people will come. And South Sudan will remain as a country, and the government will still be there.
Yeah.
So it's up to what we can do as individuals. But again, sometimes we say, yeah, these people are not educated, but we had people that were educated that went to those systems. What they went and do is loot. I know people that came from Australia. Let's start with even the government spokesperson, Atanyawek. He came from Australia. Did he change anything?
It was part of the system.
Yes. And what did he do? Marrying more women. So this idea of like that these people are not educated, even when they are mixed with us, right now, everybody want to get themselves rich. And when they get that opportunity within a government is to loot. And how do people loot?
Okay.
People loot because there are no system in place to track people down. You can just go with a... Yeah, so there are so many things to say about the government, how they are failing, but that should not stop us from...
That's a separate thing from independence.
Yeah.
At least you as an individual, you don't have to enter the system. But then what do you do out there as a private citizen? You can just go and establish something, start a school, start, let's say, a foundation, sponsor some children, make them educated. And then at the end of the day, you would have changed lives through education because they would be able to work and then be of service to the nation, the country, and also to themselves and their families at large. So, yeah, like literally we have to do something, right? I know we don't have electricity in the country. We don't have piped water. The healthcare system has failed. But that doesn't mean like there are no good hospitals. We have some hospitals, at least some substandard hospitals, but they save lives. And you can literally get the kind of services that you want. All you need is to have money because these hospitals, most of them are private hospitals. I'm not talking of the Juba Teaching Hospital, those. Yeah, and I'm very sure right now I have never gone to Jonglei State or to Bo Town, but I'm sure there are some clinics in those, in the interior, which were not there like during the time of war. And if you look at development too, Juba has really developed. The first time I went to Juba was in 2011. And all these glass building, tall building, they were not there. There were very few you could count. But right now we have urbanization. Like there's a lot of development projects going on. Places like Sherkat in 2013 when there was war. Some of those, you would see one house like meters away from the other house. And then there will be some kabush before you go to the next house. Right now, neighborhoods imejaa hivi. What is that? It's development. And then the kind of houses we had a while back are not the ones we have right now. People have concrete houses, zinky, like nice buildings. Development is not a government thing. The only thing that the government should provide are things like water and good roads.
And
so
security.
So that people in the interior are able to, because farming cannot be done in the city center, right? Because most of the places are for staying. So people in the interior can do their farming, and then they can easily transport their goods to the city centers and sell them. And then they are able to get money, which they can use for different things, to take their children to schools in the cities, or if they have private schools, huko ndani ndani, they are able to afford to live their lives. But people cannot just sit down doing nothing and then you say, oh, the government has failed. People are failing themselves too. You find families with children, like more than 8 to 10 children. There's no single source of income. People are not farming. You're just depending on relatives in the city or abroad. Watu wa maju. Such kind of people are the ones who are letting down the economy, because you are not contributing anything to make the economy better. You just get whatever small money you get from hustling people, and then you use it to eat. But you are not investing in anything meaningful. Yes, there's insecurity, but even with that insecurity, there are some people who are farming. Like you said earlier, Elijah Manyok, he also has big tracts of farms that he farms cereals and different things. Alafu inampatia a lot of produce, of which I'm very sure that's what he feeds his family with, and he's able to sell some of it. And he used some of the produce at his hotel. So if everyone wakes up and do something with what they can afford, if you have a talent, use it. You can plait people's hair, use that to get money, not free of charge. If you are energetic, go to the farm and farm. If you are not educated, go do fishing. Just at least do something with your hands. That way you are not depending on other people, but you are able to stand on your own and make a difference, not only in your life, but also in the economy.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, talking of celebrating the Independence Day, there are some individuals that are supposed to celebrate it that have done good things for themselves. Like this guy called RM Nyok has built RM Riak, I mean.
Yeah.
He has built a lot of schools.
I think he has more than 3 schools.
Yes. And he even has like a high school for girls only.
Not just one. I think there are 2. There's
For girls
Dali-
only? No, the other one are
Mountain.
mixed.
Oh, okay.
But this other one is only for girls. But the other schools, they're up to secondary, but they're mixed school.
Oh, yeah. Darling Wisdom, I think, is a mixed school.
Yeah.
And then there's Monto Girls.
Yeah.
And I think he has like another school or more.
So these individuals are actually happy that South Sudan is an independent nation. There's something to celebrate. Like because of that independence, they're able to do some things for themselves.
Yeah.
So not everybody should, the guy, if he sat down and start blaming the government, he would have not done what he's doing right now. But he's changing society through education. As much as parents are paying for the school fees, he has provided the facility. And then talking of poverty,
Okay,
like I saw there, there Quirgen threw in poverty. Poverty will never be eliminated by the government. True. It is individual effort. And even in the war right now, if the wealth was to be distributed to everybody equally, in next 2 to 3 years or even 1 year, some people will still be poor because they need services from other people. So poverty is there because our people are not working, and they might not be working because of the insecurity. Yes, we can point to the government. There's insecurity. You are not letting our people do farming. But not everybody is going to do farming. What is preventing some of these individuals from getting technical skill that you can get within a city?
Yeah, because as much as people talk of insecurity, it's not everywhere. There are some places with relative peace. And as a South Sudanese, you should be able to move freely. If this place is insecure, you can move to another place. I know this might come out as ignorant, but still, even during war, there were people who stayed in Bor town.
Yeah.
And they stayed there for the entire 21 years, up to the end of the war. So that means with insecurity, there are those who will be killed and there are those who will still survive. So just do your part as an individual, and then God and the government will do the rest.
Yeah.
But at least do something.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned earlier about the RM,
Remember.
yeah, RM we are having schools. I actually saw like during the opening of Amonto Girls, they were sponsoring some students. And also within Darling Wisdom, they usually sponsor like top achieving students. So let's say after primary school, if you pass, they would sponsor like 3 to 10. So at least that way, those are people who come from low income families mostly. And you take out that burden of the parent having to pay the school fees for this child, or the child staying home because they cannot afford to go to school. So that way, at least he's kind of giving back to the society,
Yeah.
not only by providing the facility, but by also changing the lives of some of the people who cannot afford to pay. Yeah.
Yeah. And talking of the refugee story, our people are still a refugee. Yes, it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But do you think there's a day that all people will return to South Sudan? For me, I say it's not possible. Take,
Yeah.
for example,
In
Ethiopia.
2000 and,
No,
okay.
Ethiopia. When you were in Kaku, when you were in Kenya during those days,
Yeah.
you were not aware people were fighting in Ethiopia, right? The recent fighting, leave about the recent fighting that everybody knows. But there were Ethiopian refugees.
Yeah.
Also, Ugandans.
Yes.
The Ugandans in a
Refugees
refugee camp.
Kakuma.
Is anybody fighting in Uganda?
Right now, I don't think so. Maybe like inter-communal fights. But it's not like war that is kind of affecting everyone.
But it's not affecting the, how do you call it, like the
Places like
Kampala.
Kampala,
Yeah, you can go to
Entebbe.
other place where you're going to avoid the communal fight, right?
Yeah.
But they chose to come to a refugee camp. There's something in a refugee camp that I'm not going to go into details, but I'm just telling you this idea of saying our people are refugee. It will never stop one day and then we stop from there. Take for example in
People
2007.
get comfortable when you go to somewhere and then you get used to the place.
So in 2000 and 2008, when our people say they were repatriating, they went to Sudan.
Yeah.
Some of them returned within 2009 and 2010, and there was no
Yeah.
fighting in South Sudan. Why? Because they were used to free water, free food, and free medication. When they went to South Sudan, those things were not there. They had to
They
start
had to
from a
farm.
scratch,
Yeah.
farming for themselves, going to the borehole, those donkey borehole,
Yeah.
to go fetch
Or
the
going
water.
to the stream.
And looking for money to take their kid to the hospital. They say they're not able to manage such kind of life.
Lifestyle.
Why? Because they're used to the UN way of doing things.
Yeah, so that means the life in Kakuma was better than this one of catering for everything by yourself.
So there are people already that are used to being taken care of to some point that they, even if they come to South Sudan, they will still go back. It's not like we are being pessimistic, but it's something that has happened. People went and came back before the war. There are some people that went and settled, but because of 2013, 2014 war,
They came back.
They came
Those
back.
ones you can't blame them.
yes. And so there's something like our issues as South Sudanese are white and broad. It will be very hard like to address them without looking at individual effort.
Yeah, it's like this issue of people saying people are going to go back to the ancestral home. Let's say Bor, saying they'll go back to Bor town or Bor, like Bor states, those counties in Bor. There's no way everybody will go back. Or Lost Boy saying people will go back to South Sudan. They are already used to the life here, and their children are used to this lifestyle. So there's no way they'll pack one day and then the entire family you go back to South Sudan. Because the system there is very different from what you know here. Also the source of livelihood. Here you can do a few hours and you are able to afford your basic needs. But then if you go to the ground, you might have to farm. Getting a job is also another struggle. if you don't have an investment already in place to sustain you, then you're going to suffer. So those are some of the things. Like people, there's no day everyone will move back to where they came from. Some people get used to that new environment and that's where they will stay. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. As much as we say the government can do A, B, C, D, yes, there are some things that the government should do, but there are things that individuals are supposed to do by themselves.
Yeah.
Even back in Kakuma when we were there, you see how the Congolese were working, right?
Yeah.
They came like literally very new arrivals, and then already they were farming.
Yeah, they
And
started
people
doing
say
things that
Kakuma
we
is
used not
dry.
to do. Yeah.
Nothing can thrive there. And then after some time, they'll start selling kudra,
Vegetable.
different vegetables to people in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And then you are like, oh, wow. Things that common South Sudanese could not do. Most of the households in South Sudan, you could only farm maybe a small farm or kudra. But then it doesn't last like the whole month. By the time this harvest is done, that's it. Maybe you wait until next month and then you farm small scale. But when these people came, the UN gave them like some boreholes.
They requested for boreholes.
Yes.
Yes. And then they were given.
And they would plant like very large plantations. And then they'll start selling. And you see these people eating meat every day, omena, balanced diet.
Yeah.
Alafu wasudi tumeng'ang'ana tu na ration ya UN.
Yeah.
So like hard work is something ingrained in people.
Yeah.
Ni kitu iko kwa DNA. And practice too. If you are not used to struggling or hustling, then you just get these small things and you settle. And then someone who has big dreams, they'll fight, not literally fight, but like they'll struggle to achieve what it is that they want to get at the end of the day.
Yeah. And poverty is relative to environment.
Yeah.
We see our people back home because they request us for money and we send them something small. We say that they are in poverty, things are not changing. But when we ourselves in the diaspora compare ourselves with how people are living here, some of you are actually in poverty.
Some of us, not some of you, you included.
Some of you are in poverty. I've always said
below the poverty line.
Yes, I'm in a middle class. I'm going to upper class soon.
Okay.
So like I'm saying,
inshallah.
Yes. So some of people here are in poverty, but they don't see that. They see the poverty of other people because they are doing better than them. But this idea of poverty, it exists everywhere.
Yeah.
What are you doing about your poverty in the country where you are in the diaspora? Why do you complain of other poverty of which you cannot change? If you want to change it, take a plane and go. Go look for a job and start from there. Go do something for yourself. And like I always say,
or invest and employ some people so that you uproot them from poverty.
Yes. And like I've always said, things will not change because they are going to change. You have to be there yourself. Go tell them this is how things are done. So if you want to change things in a specific department, let's say in education, in culture, in whatever, security, and that's your area, you go start somewhere. Get employed. Don't show them that you know more. Just rise through the rank and become who you are and now start changing things. But we go from here, some of us that might have gone back, they go from here knowing all. And now you start challenging people. We are all human. When you belittle other people, they get upset at you.
And they will actually get you fired.
Yes, they will either get you fired or they will frustrate you or they will even go to an extent of eliminating you.
Yeah.
So when you go to a society where people are really very literate, play with them but just do the right thing where you are.
Yeah.
And because of that, people will actually see that you are doing, but you don't have to go correcting people. You're going to create more enemies. And you will not go and change South Sudan in a day.
Also, some of these people, like you said earlier, not everyone has the good intentions of doing that.
Yeah.
I'm very sure we all know one or two people who went there purposely for the looting purposes. because upper there's a way you
System
can
are in place and they can easily see.
But then ukienda South Sudan, you play with the system, and then in 2-3 years you already have like a very big compound. Kidogo kidogo uko na mabibi hapa na pale. But ukitoka these Western world countries, you didn't have that wealth. Maybe hata ukitoka you had less than 10,000 in your account. What can you do with $10,000? Nothing, literally. But because in South Sudan kuna mahali unaweza weka mkono hapa na pale unaiba, you go and steal. So hata nyinyi mnaharibia watu wengine. Because it's like, umetoka where you have been exposed to working systems, and then right now wewe ndio unakuja kuharibu system zaidi. See, then these other people, there's no need of considering them.
Yeah.
Because you are not bringing any change. You're just coming to play in the mud with the other pigs. Yeah. So like literally not everyone, unless if you go and do your own private practice, and then you make a change within your community through that. Then if you get any appointment, okay, that's different. But historia, and then kidogo, we start seeing you living flashy kind of lifestyle. We'll all know that's product of corruption. Because how can you get all that money in such a short time and you are not even the president of that country? Kwani, how big is that position yenye uko nayo inakupatia all that money? So at least as an individual, you have to be able to constrain yourself not to engage in these things that are destroying the country. And your main purpose should be to provide the services to the people of your country.
Yeah.
And make a difference. At least that way ukienda kulala unalala as a peaceful human being. But knowing very well you are taking part in this corruption. And these are the same things that you were criticizing when you are not part of the system. Then that's being hypocritical. And you are not making any difference.
Yeah, you're just the same like them. And it's just that you have not got the opportunity. That's why you want things to be done in a certain way.
Yeah.
But most of people can actually steal. It's just that they have not been given that opportunity
to steal.
But if they're exposed to it, they will steal. And what prevents most of people from stealing are the controls that are put down. Take, for example, for one to withdraw money from a government bank account or to take some money, there has to be a signature of so-and-so, signature of so-and-so, and it has to be people that don't work in the same department to avoid people colluding.
Yeah.
You see? But those things are not there. So, it's a little bit complicated. There's so much to do. That we are not just going to stop celebrating our independence because of these things. These one are more individual things. And take, for example, did you see Juba Stadium? It was packed.
Yeah, during John Frog's
concert and it brought recently in some Eddie Kenzo and Rayvani
from TZ.
Yes.
Eddie Kenzo, I think, is Ugandan.
And those were South Sudanese that were happy. So who are these people that are not happy?
South Sudanese in diaspora.
So this thing is more of like relative to individuals. So if you are not happy, we won't force you to be happy.
Anyway, this is a disclaimer. We are not judging whoever is not happy. Whatever claims they came up with, like poverty, incompetent leadership, dictatorship, all those things are valid points. And they exist. Yes. We are not disputing that. We also agree with them. Even if you watch some of our prior videos, you'll understand that we talked about some of them. So some of those things are things that are there and we all discuss them. But putting a blanket statement that people should be. Yeah. Those things are government related issues. And then independence is for everybody. Yes. Government, not all of us are part of the government. And even some of us who I don't have anyone in the government, but there are some of our friends or relatives who have people in the government. They don't do anything to make any changes, right? So like we all have to play our cards and play them well so that we straighten this system to have like a good country and some sort of development and service provision here and there by the government. But then on the side, we also need to at least celebrate the kind of progress and be happy that we are an independent state.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing that beats that separating from the north. Because the amount of suffering our people went through was really insane. Yeah.
People used to be thin.
Like we'll get photos of Juba before and after too.
Yeah. And so I'm going to conclude by saying I'm happy that South Sudan is an independent nation. And I was happy to celebrate the Independence Day because from my family, before the independence,
You were sufferers.
Yes, and we had never owned even a house with an iron sheet as the roof. But now we have it.
What kind of house were you living in?
Grass thatch.
Okay.
So should I not be happy because of this? Because I have to be happy. Things have changed on my side. As much as the government has not done a lot of things, I've seen changes that have come because of the independence that our country got.
Yeah, and you are not alone. Like, I think majority of us, maybe let's say even 80, more than 50% of the South Sudan population have seen some growth following the independence. Because I know my mom went to Juba in 2007, I believe. And then I was able to go to a boarding school, to a very good school actually, in 2010. Because she started some business back in Juba and she would send money for us to rent a house in Nakuru and also to go to school and all that. And from there, I was able to finish my class 8, 7, and 8. And then I continued with boarding school till I got scholarship in Form 3, Form 4. So it's because of such things that you are now free to do something in your country that some of us got to where we are today. Because our people did something. They worked and were able to provide.
They got the environment where they were able to work and earn a living.
Yes.
Before that, before the independence, there was not that environment.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it for Jimosi podcast. Please consider subscribing.
Road to
1,000 subscribers.
Yay!